Hello, everybody, and welcome to Noodles at Noon, I think is what we decided to call this. I think one of the other people in this podcast knows it's called that. I don't know about the other one. But as always, we are here with my co-host, Noah. He and I were once confused for each other in the second grade, and now you can tell us apart by the fact that he has a job and a wife and a house, and I don't. So that is Noah Metzger. And hello. For our special guest this week, he's 6'7" and weighs in on 302 pounds. He's Hollywood Hogan. He's Mr. America. Oh, wait, that's next week's special guest. This week's special guest is Michael.
Howdy. Boy, howdy.
You know, I'm super excited for next week's special guest, but this week I guess we have Michael.
Wait, okay. So I want to clarify. I haven't seen Michael in person in probably 3 or 4 years, and last time I saw him, he was not how you described him. So, Michael, are you doing okay?
I'm not Russian. That's next week's guest.
Okay. I never said you were Russian.
Oh, I picked that out of the 6'7", 310 pounds. Like
302 pounds. Those are the those are the things for wrestler Hulk Hogan. That's the amount of research.
Did you look that up?
Russian
yes,
Hogan.
I did.
Wow.
I did enough research to get that across. That's basically it, though. Oh, and by the way, I'm Ben Shoemate. I am the host here, and welcome to Noodles at Noon, the show that focuses on stuff not worth focusing on. I figured since this is the first podcast that we did, we should do our due diligence and introduce ourselves in some form or fashion. And I figured we could start with Noah. So Noah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
All right. Well, I am also about 300 pounds. Or maybe not, maybe a little less than that. Maybe a lot less than that. What do I do? I don't know. We had a talk before this about not revealing too much personal information.
That's
and then the very first question I was asked was to reveal personal information. So
well, that's just Michael's plan. You can reveal as much or as little as you want.
All right. Well, I am Noah. I am a young adult man. That explains a lot. So far, this is all of us. Wait, can I say like where in the country we're located?
You can say where in the country you're located. We may be in different places.
Okay, I'll just avoid that altogether. I am a web developer. I also have a YouTube channel I post to about once a year. That's kind of my creative outlet.
No plugs, please.
No plug. Oh, man, I'm gonna get kicked off this podcast already.
It's just the first episode. I'm already. Oh man, Noah.
Are you already taking notes for after the show? Like
I am. I'm deducting
Noah,
points.
Please stop talking about yourself so much. So far, this whole podcast has been talking about Noah.
Yeah. You were really self-centered in the introduce yourself bit.
The first 40 minutes of the podcast is my introduce myself, and then just the closing. Like, all right, we'll get
that's
to
all the time we have.
Yes, I am a web developer. I like video games. There's nothing about me that's truly unique. So I'm hoping through this podcast I can help myself foster some obscure interests that would maybe make me stand out from the other average young adult gamer male. So that's kind of my goal. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this podcast.
I didn't really ask what you were hoping to get out of it, but it's good to be intentional. I can appreciate that. So, Michael, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Michael, and that's spelled Michael. If you spell it EAL, we're not friends.
I'm looking over my notes, and I did spell it right.
Good, thank you. I'm glad, because we've only known each other for...
Since kindergarten.
I don't know, 15 years. Yes.
Wait, I spelled it like Michelle? I thought it was Michelle.
No. Yeah, not that.
ELLE?
Yep. Never heard that one before. Well, I'm just pretty much a dude. I tell people I'm the most boring person you can meet, and I kind of stand by that. I don't do a lot of things that normal people actually do, depending on what you classify as normal. My favorite things right now are NHL hockey. Go Avs. Go Habs. And Formula 1.
I'll let that one slide.
That was well, hey, I can be fans of teams that I don't support.
Yeah,
what?
I said what?
What? I don't.
What?
But I've also been on
at all.
I know. it came out wrong. And yeah, I've been on a big kick watching Formula One racing, which has been interesting, but that stuff is tremendous. I'm also a gamer and musician at heart. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/.
I was gonna say slash. You're that guy? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
He just went straight
I have
into
like
it
50
too.
million subs.
He was gonna like read off the like http://. He was gonna do the whole URL.
www.
www.
I think the last couple things, I'm obsessed with anatomy. Ben knows that. I took an anatomy course about a year ago. I've been obsessed ever since. Last but not least, my favorite band right now is Mike Maines and the Branches. Top-notch band. Top-notch.
Mike, or Noah, do you know who that is?
I do not, but I do have my computer here, and I am looking him up.
That's good. I might as well introduce myself. My name is Ben Shoemate. I just graduated with a degree in journalism and multimedia studies, and this is what I decided to do with my life. That's about it. That's all I got going on. I decided to start a podcast. This is my...
Well, thanks for joining us for the first episode of whatever this is.
I thought it was Noodles
I'm
at
just
Noon.
I'm just kidding. Thank you, Noodles at Noon. Goodbye.
Oh, I guess we're done. Oh, okay. Never mind all the research and stuff I planned. Whatever. Guess we're just going to end it there.
That's it.
That's
No,
it.
please stay for attention time.
Yes. So this is a show. We focus primarily on kind of under the radar news stories, and we turn it into kind of a game show sort of deal where we pit Michael against, or I'm sorry, where we pit Noah against whoever our special guest of the week might be, which this week is Michael. So that's a bit of the background about the show. You got to learn a little about me, Noah, and Michael. We'll do that every week depending on if we have a different special guest, or if Michael's around, we probably won't do it because, well, we just told you. And if you don't watch the first episode, are you really a fan? Ooh, yeah, you got to be here from the beginning, the very beginning. But Noah, Michael, anything interesting in your life that is news to you, but probably wasn't spread out over the airwaves because it's a more personal occurrence in your life?
Noah can go first.
All right. Well, I was debating which story to tell.
Oh, you're that
because
interesting?
I am that interesting. No, none of my stories have a great payoff. The story the story that happened today that I was excited to share didn't really end up having a great payoff, but I found a purse with about $500 cash in the Lowe's parking lot a couple hours ago.
That sounds like a
Did
great...
you happen to drop it?
That's it.
It felt like it was planted like on a kids' TV show or something. It was like the story of like, what do I do with this wallet of money? But then I just took it in and gave it to a Lowe's employee, and she was like, "Oh, okay." So that was the end of that story.
That could have been a great payoff.
That
story could have had a wonderful payoff of $500.
If I'd just been a different kind of person, that could have had quite the payoff.
Person. Well.
I was looking around for a camera or something because it was so perfect. It was just like this little like coin purse type thing with like $500 cash and nothing else. That was it. I was like, this seems
and
too...
You're just waiting to get like Nickelodeon slimed or something, or
On this episode of Bait Car.
Just waiting for some like up and coming YouTuber to come out and be like, "Now, why did you choose to do that with the money?" But nothing happened, so that was kind of sad. But
Jake Paul's like, "Now you can post my bail."
Hey, he got yeah. Let's not. I thought we were not getting political. I'm just kidding. There's nothing political about being stupid. What?
Oh.
There might be. We don't know that.
Well, I'll tell the story, the strange story, something interesting that happened to me that I'm still trying to track down how this might have happened. So I welcome your opinions and your feedback if you might be able to tell me how this happened. So I work at a company that we are big on referrals. Like if if I recommend somebody for a job, they have a much better chance of getting the job because
So
It explains
Cutco?
why I don't
MLM?
work there.
why I have never recommended Ben.
Yeah.
All of his applications have been immediately rejected. They just come to me. But I was in the cafe getting a cup of coffee the other day, and our factory manager who hires most of the people in the factory, he goes, Noah, we're really excited. We just interviewed Steven. He got that great recommendation from you, and we're probably going to hire him because of your recommendation. And I kind of looked at him and I said, oh, okay, well, that's great. Who's Steven? And I don't know his name is Steven. I don't remember. But he starts telling me, oh, he had this history here and he just moved here from this part of the country. And he told me all this stuff about Steven. And I told him, I don't know who you're talking about. And so I went and looked at his job application. And sure enough, like the first thing on the application was recommended by Noah. And it's my name, and he very clearly states like, oh yes, Noah told me to apply for a job here and I'm really excited. And I don't know who this person is. I called my mom immediately. I asked her. She didn't know. I sent a group text to the entire family. Nobody knows who Steven is. How does this happen?
You go on a podcast and reveal too much information. That's one way it can happen.
This is my first podcast.
Oh.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is there someone else named Noah in this company?
No. And it had my last name too. So
Okay.
it was specifically my last name.
Huh.
So the only thing I can think of is he started looking for this company on LinkedIn and saw that I was an employee of LinkedIn, or I do a little bit of stuff with the social media side of things, so my name might be out there on our Facebook page somewhere or something. But I thought that was a very, very interesting story, and I'm still trying to track that down, how that could have happened. But I don't know.
Steven, if you're out there.
He hasn't gotten hired yet. And
I think it's all part of the same Nickelodeon prank show that they're just really out to get you.
It's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in my life is connected.
Yeah.
It's all part of some bigger plan.
Well, yes, but I don't know if that's it.
No, it's Nickelodeon.
It's Nickelodeon. That's my
It's always
destiny.
been. Anyway, any other ideas? Any other thoughts? Because I'm at a loss.
No, I think your one about LinkedIn is sound, logical. Or you do know this Steven character, and you've just forgotten about him. Which
I do some crazy things in my sleep.
If you use that good of a reference and then forgot about him, you're like, come on, dude. Like, clearly this person, or you mean more to this person than that person means to you. And
Steven's probably listening to this podcast, and he's like, Noah, man, we've been friends forever.
You've known me. We were born in the same hospital. Been friends ever since.
I gave you a kidney.
I pushed you out of the way of that truck, even though you still got amnesia.
That's why. That could be. I'll add that to the theory list.
Yeah, I do remember you getting hit by that truck, though.
What?
I mean, you
That's
don't.
crazy. I never did.
Obviously. Yeah.
What?
Michael, do you have anything from the past week?
I do. So what we will come to learn the longer I'm on this show is I stink at telling stories. I never start in the right place. I trip over my words. I don't know the logical progression of things, even though I live them.
You must be a musician.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I won't be telling a story in the form of a story. More
You
like
tell it in the form of a haiku?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I wish
Okay,
I was
go.
prepared to read the haiku because you knew. But this Wednesday, I went with a friend of ours. Ben and I have a mutual friend who I'm not sure if they would want me to reveal their name, so we'll call them Matt. And Matt and
Matt.
I
I
went
love
to
Matt.
a local, yeah, you know Matt, a local roller hockey rink, and we went and played some roller hockey. I'm still learning how to skate. I learned maybe 2 years ago how to inline skate. very poorly. I can't stop. I can't turn. I can't go backward. So if anything turns, you're gone, pretty much. But we just had a good time. He's moving away to Florida here soon because he's getting married because he's an adult or whatever. So he's moving away soon. So Matt and I just went to the hockey rink and we gotta do some hockey. And it was really hot outside, but there luckily wasn't smoke like there is today in certain regions.
That might be too much information because
where I reside.
people could figure that out where we are, Michael, based on where there are currently fires.
Australia.
I never said there were fires. I said there was smoke.
Where
You
there's
can tell
smoke,
by
there's
the
fire.
accent. He's definitely from Australia.
I'm from Australia. Don't I sound like I'm from Australia?
You could. Maybe you're faking it.
Yeah, I could be. This is my Australian accent, my fake one. Gosh, I don't have nearly as interesting a story as Noah does. He really went all out because there's
Thanks.
identity theft, and Michael, yours actually went out and did something. So now I feel bad for staying in my house all day, every day, for the past week. The only interesting that happened is I figured out that a good substitute for milk is not combining coffee creamer with soy milk. And then pouring it on Lucky Charms. That's the only interesting thing that has happened, because we were out of milk and I wanted cereal, and I was like, well, I don't have milk, but I have coffee creamer, and I know my mom has soy milk, so I just mixed them together.
Was the coffee creamer flavored?
It was French vanilla.
Oh.
In my mind, I thought it was going to be good, and then it wasn't.
I don't know how you can make the case that soy milk plus something is a better substitute for milk than soy milk by
Just soy
itself.
milk? Because I don't like
Right.
the flavor of soy milk.
So
would
it
you
had
have
some
done?
French vanilla to it.
Okay, you just poured yourself a bowl of Lucky Charms, Noah, and you went into your fridge and you don't have any milk, but you do have coffee creamer and ketchup and mustard and soy sauce and other stuff, as well as your mom has soy milk somewhere in the house. What would you do?
Well, I am a passionate dry cereal person.
Okay, you're useless to me. Michael,
So-
same question. You answer it now, though.
Listen, if you so hate soy milk in the way that you explain, dry, but I am passionate about soy milk and chocolate soy milk and almond milk. So I would man up, quite honestly, and have the soy milk or eat it dry.
I propose another alternative because, Ben, I know where you live and I know how close you are to a grocery store. And I know you also have a
Location
car.
reveal. Location reveal.
I have since went and bought milk. I'll have you know. There should be a round of applause after that for me being an adult.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyway, I had just poured cereal, and I was in my pajamas, and I really want to go out and about. So French vanilla and soy milk. It doesn't work. I did it for you guys, okay? So I can tell you all that it doesn't work.
Can you describe the flavor, the flavor sensation you experienced?
Well, it was in a bowl of Lucky Charms, so I knew it was going to be sweet. But imagine really sweet Lucky Charms mixed with a dirty sponge.
Mm.
And then I ate the whole thing. But
Well, that's good. You don't want to be wasteful.
yeah, I
no
don't want to
matter
be
how bad
wasteful.
it is.
I ate all of it, but yeah, maybe I'll do it again just to see if it's get better the second time. It's an acquired taste,
That's what they say about a lot of things, be it certain kinds of tea or I guess even alcohol. You just have to push through how bad it is for it to be good.
See,
which
that's
doesn't
my
make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't have the work ethic for most foods, apparently.
You have to
'Cause-
work at it.
You have to acquire the taste for it. Nah. I'll just go eat a marshmallow. That's fine.
That doesn't require any prerequisites. It's just a
Nope.
marshmallow and it's good.
Just a marshmallow, and it's fluffy, and it's just good. So yeah, that's hopefully gives you a bit of a perspective of our personalities. That may have gone on a bit longer than I hoped it would. But talking about my milk situation, I do have milk now, though. Everyone should be pleased with me. So to get in more of the show part, since we spent such a long time doing the introductions and going over stuff from our past week, We are only going to have 2 games this week, but the way this is going to work is it's going to be Noah against the special guest, which this week is Michael. So all the games are going to be about things from the past week that have happened that are kind of unusual, kind of odd, and they have to figure it out or come up with a clever story as to what that story might be about. The first game that we're going to play is called What's the Deal? So this game asks what's the deal with a certain topic. Each topic is referring to a news story from the past week. Each player will have a chance to offer up what they think the deal is about that topic and give their reasoning. If a player gets it right, they get a point. That's right, there's a point system here. If neither player is correct, I will independently choose who wins because I like giving myself power I don't deserve. The game consists of 5 rounds and starts right now. Does everyone understand the rules of this game?
I do.
We'll find out if I don't.
We'll find out if you don't. Well, that's good because you're going first. So we're going to start with kind of an easy one.
Oh.
This was kind of more on... You're the special guest. You get to go first.
Okay.
This was kind of more on national news. But what's the deal with Mount Rushmore? Michael, you go first.
So if I have a firm suspicion I know what is going on, do I use that, or am I supposed to? Can you clarify if I'm supposed to make something that sounds close to it? What was the?
If you think you know what the story is about, then go for it because you get a point for being correct.
Okay. Let me compose myself.
Okay.
Donald Trump wants his face on Mount Rushmore.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, explain. You can both explain since apparently you both were going to say that.
Explain? I don't know what there is to explain.
Well, I don't know. Go into it a bit. Why do you think that's the correct answer?
Because I'm 98% sure I've seen this in popular news recently.
All right, well, I did say
In
that we
news
were going to
feeds.
start with an easy one. That is correct, Michael. According to a report by...
Too easy.
It's mostly correct. According to a report by the New York Times, the White House reached out to South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem about adding faces to Mount Rushmore. Noem has recounted that Trump told her it is his dream to be on the monument, and the White House has denied these claims, but Trump went on record saying he thinks it would be a good idea to add him. Although no one did say to Trump that it was Trump the White House wanted to add, so he kind of just threw that in himself.
Oh,
I like how it's worded. Like, just see about adding any faces. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe we could put like Nixon up there. I don't know, like what?
Well, I also didn't necessarily say presidents. It just wants to add faces.
That's true. You could
Maybe
put
we get
like
Harrison
Melania
Ford up
up
there.
there.
Or,
Oh,
yeah, we could-
I would be totally down for Harrison Ford just being added.
I mean, doesn't it take like 30 years for them to add anything to that, though?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because aren't they making like the Crazy Horse Monument, and it's like projected to be done in like 2200?
Well, you have to blow stuff up, which
That's
I'm all
true.
about, but you have to explode things and that sort of stuff.
What faces? It doesn't have to be president. What faces do you want to see on it, aside from Harrison Ford, which I said?
I was just gonna say I would love to do an entire podcast on best faces for
For
for Mount Rushmore. Like the entire, what's the K-pop band BTS? Just put them all up.
Oh boy.
there's like 9 of them. There's. I don't think that would work.
I think they'll still be relevant when that's done.
Oh, that is true.
Dr. Phil.
Dave Ramsey. That's who I want on there.
Dave
true
Ramsey.
Dave
Because
Ramsey.
that's what he does with all the money he saves for his entire life.
Yeah,
is to
that's what he's been
self-fund
doing.
putting himself on Mount Rushmore.
Another thing that was made a point when the story came out is that they did, or allegedly they did, reach out to South Dakota's governor, but the monument is a federal monument, so the state literally has nothing to do with Mount Rushmore. So whether they wanted to add faces or not, reaching out to the governor of South Dakota wouldn't accomplish anything. Yeah, so good job, Michael, because you went first and you got it
Thanks.
correct. You get 1 point. Well, you got it close enough. So for the second round, it'll be Noah's turn to go first. If Noah gets it wrong, or I can't say if he gets it wrong, but I guess I can say if he gets it wrong. I'll tell him if he gets it right. And if he gets it wrong, then it'll be your turn with the same prompt. So the second one is, what's the deal with houses? Noah, what is the deal with houses?
Mortgage rates are super low right now. I know that much.
Okay, that's true, but that's not what I'm going for.
What's the deal with houses specifically? That is very broad.
Okay, fine. I'll make it more specific. What's the deal with this one specific house I'm thinking of? Does that help?
The only house I can think of is the White House, but I'm doubting we're gonna go political again.
Yeah, we can't do that 2 times in a row.
I'm trying to think what other houses there are, which means I'm probably
just make something up.
The Ronald McDonald House is combining into one giant house that all of the people are gonna go to, and there's a 60-foot statue of Ronald McDonald in like the foyer, because they call it the foyer, not the foyer.
Wow.
Yeah, this is true. I read about it on NPR.
Excuse your
actually.
French.
Excuse your
Pardon my French.
Pardon
In other words, I have no clue.
Well, Noah, you are 100% correct. No, I'm kidding. That would be absurd.
That'd be amazing.
But you're going to submit that the Ronald McDonald House, which is a hospital,
Oh.
if I'm not mistaken, is becoming...
No, I think it's for homeless people.
Is
It's
it?
like-
Oh, no.
I
No.
thought it was-
No. It's where people who have people in the hospital can stay.
Okay, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I'm fairly sure.
Yeah. No, it is a... It is the Ronald McDonald House Charities is a nonprofit family and children's charity dedicated to supporting families with sick children in their time of need. So what you're proposing is that all of those houses, which I will say are spread out over the entire U.S., are
Probably
becoming
near hospitals.
probably near hospitals, are becoming one giant house. I'm guessing somewhere in the middle of
Rushmore.
Oklahoma.
I would say Nebraska. If you guys have ever been to the Nebraska Furniture Mart, it's like crazy huge. It's like its own city in and of itself.
Not a sponsor.
They actually took that over. They're just going to put people on the furniture.
All right.
But at the Ronald McDonald.
Okay, with Ronald McDonald. I will say that is not correct. So, Michael, what is what is the deal with houses, Michael?
I really think it's that the unsinkable Molly Brown's house is up for sale for the first time in over 157 years.
That is a very astute observation. That is true, but not what
Is
I'm
that actually
looking
true?
for. Is it not? Is it not true?
That
Did you
can't be
just
true.
make that up?
Wait, did you make that up?
Absolutely.
You
was
said it
so
so
specific.
confidently. I just went with thinking, oh, it's true.
Oh, don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Okay. No, that is incorrect. So, what's the deal with houses? A TikTok. I know, I don't use TikTok, but this is just a thing that happened. A TikTok went viral after user Ellie.corn_ showed off a house in Deerfield, Illinois that measured just 3 feet wide on one side. This house is a 2-bedroom house that recently sold for $260,000. While the house is in fact 3 feet on one side, the other side is much wider, and the house is commonly known as the Pie House because it's shaped like a piece of pie. And that TikTok, because it's TikTok, obviously somehow now has over 1 million views. Honestly, neither of you were really close. I will say that. But I'll give it to Noah for the creativity of the Ronald McDonald House. It's close. I mean, the
I
unsinkable
feel like
Molly Brown.
Yeah, I would honestly argue that Michael should probably get the point because he was so
fooled me?
confident with his answer that we were both like, wow, that's awesome, and didn't question it at all.
Honestly, Ben fooled me. I fooled myself because Ben's like, well, that might be true. And like, that's not, I made that number up. I don't know anything.
Okay, fine. I'll give it to Michael just because Noah said so.
Oh, woo.
So Michael now has 2. Noah, you have none. But it goes back to Michael for the next question. What is the deal with foxes? Michael, what's the deal with foxes?
So I know something is true about foxes, and I don't know if it's the same thing, but I'm going to go with what I saw.
It's a story
saw-
about foxes. It might not just be a true fact about foxes. It's a news story that has happened in the past week about foxes.
Is it what they say? Did we discover what they say?
No, that
Okay.
is not
Okay.
from this past week. And if you think it is from this past week,
That was a flashback.
That wasn't my guess.
oh, okay.
That wasn't my guess. My guess is that someone found a fox in their house behind a bookshelf. That is my guess.
Behind a bookshelf.
Maybe not a bookshelf, but a
Oh,
shelf.
can I
of some kind.
clarify? I think
How
it
do
was
foxes get
in a
behind shelves,
library,
Michael?
wasn't it?
They walk behind it. I don't know. I'm not a fox expert.
Okay, that is not
Fox News, maybe, but what?
not quite correct. So we're going to go to Noah. Noah, what is the deal with foxes?
So the only story about foxes I heard this week was the same one as Michael, but I thought maybe it took place in a library. Somebody found behind a bookshelf. Did we confirm that's not true?
No, it was not found behind a bookshelf. I can confirm that.
Is this the story though? I thought it was.
No, you're incorrect.
Oh.
I'll let you go
all
again
right.
because you basically just amended Michael's story.
Okay. Oh man, I'm trying to do this whole bluffing thing where I make up a story on the spot like Michael did, but he did it so beautifully I just can't compare. I think and the harder I try, the less it's working. I do not know about foxes, but I am going to say that they found a special breed of foxes in Maryland with 2 tails, and they can actually fly through the sky like Sonic the Hedgehog. Or not like Sonic, but the fox
Oh my gosh.
tails.
That's like Free Realms.
I don't know
Okay.
what that is.
That's a 2005 reference. Don't worry about it. Okay.
That's okay. I wasn't around for 2005. My dog's barking in the background because you are also wrong, Noah.
Oh.
I regret to inform you.
You all know what that sound means.
You all know what that sound means. Noah's wrong and is going to get attacked by a dog. No, the correct answer to what is the deal with foxes is a fashionista fox in Germany stole over 100 pairs of shoes. The residents of Zellendorf, Germany, all got together and realized that their footwear had vanished off their porches overnight. The fox was caught in the act while carrying a pair of blue flip-flops in its mouth. The fox was tracked to a meadow where more than 100 pairs of shoes were found.
I know this is Germany, but I just picture like all the neighbors getting together on one neighbor's porch like, we need to figure out what kid is stealing all these shoes. I know it's those teenagers. And you just see this fox like walking in the background carrying flip-flops.
Is that your impersonation of someone from Zellendorf, Germany?
Yes. And he's holding a pickaxe in my imagination.
Now I'm just thinking of like the American Gothic painting with like a
Yeah, I
fox
think
in the background holding a pair of blue flip-flops.
I'm pretty sure American Gothic was in Germany. Like the location of that picture, I think they're in Germany.
In the painting American Gothic?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. That makes sense. That checks out. Michael,
All
anything
right.
to add about the fox?
All I was gonna say: fox in socks, fox in shoes. You know,
Oh, yeah, no, that's good.
Is that
our
a
guy, whatever his name was, that wrote the rhyming schemes. His name, Dr. Seuss. He was onto something.
He was.
He
Dr.
was onto
Seuss is
something.
prophetic, apparently.
All of those
Um,
books are prophecies. You wait until they roll
Things
out
are
the
gonna
green
get
eggs.
weird, man.
We have like a battle over butter or whatever that one was about. Like the Fox and Socks is just the beginning. Dr. Seuss has foretold all of this.
All right. That was Michael's to go first. So Noah, you get to go first on this one. Oh, I need to assign a point. I feel like I should give one to Noah just because I don't want Michael to get
Free
too
realms.
far out into
Free
the
Realms gotta get a point.
lead. And I guess it did have 2 tails and could fly. That's pretty creative.
It's like a coin.
Coins?
Free Realms. No, that's like a
Coins?
squirrel.
What?
Free Realms?
Isn't it orange?
Oh, we're talking about
yeah.
free realms now. I thought you were talking about coins.
I'm learning about Free
Um,
Realms now. Everything Michael says that I don't understand, I just Google.
He's just Googling.
Like, oh yeah, Michael. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Keep
so
talking.
Noah, round 4. What's the deal with libraries?
Oh, foxes are in them. Is that it?
Are you gonna go with? I probably would have chosen that for the fox one if that was the fox one.
I'm going with it anyway. I feel good about it.
You're going with they found a fox behind a bookshelf in a library.
Yes.
What section did they find the fox in?
It was in the research section because he was trying to look at the pictures of the lady foxes.
Oh,
All right, so Noah's Foxy Fox. Michael, I will say that is not correct.
Oh.
But can I make an on-air suggestion? I think you should hold off on telling us if it was correct until after the second person is guessed.
Okay, I will
think that
apply
would
that
be tremendous.
to the next round.
Okay.
Michael, what's the deal with libraries?
Is this one specific library, Ben?
It is a specific library where something happened, yes.
Okay. Somebody stole the Declaration of Independence, which is, first of all, not in a library. But second of all, that's what I'm going with. Nick Cage.
If that ever does happen, like in real life, if the Declaration of Independence ever gets stolen, you know Nick Cage is going to be blamed.
He should be.
He seems like the type of guy who would just do it.
He's probably given it more thought than anybody else on the planet.
He gave it more thought than whoever wrote the script for that movie.
He's like, wow, maybe I can do this.
I could pull this off. Is the Declaration of Independence not held in the library? No, it's not held in the Library
It's
of
in the
Congress.
National Archives.
It's in the National Archives, that's right. Okay.
In a room that is separated from the National Archives.
I've been there.
Samesies.
Me too.
Noah, have you been there?
I have.
Triple samesies.
Look at us. We're all cultured, but with American culture.
That's the only culture.
That's
No, I don't
Yikes,
actually.
we try to avoid saying things.
Ethnocentrism. What?
I should clarify. I don't actually believe that.
Okay, good. Well, Michael, you are also incorrect. What's the deal with libraries? A Walla Walla, Washington Public Library were performing renovations during the COVID-19 lockdown and removed a corner panel from the mystery book section and found 5 unopened cans of Ham's beer and Godzilla Heads gum. After some research, the library officials decided that the stash had been placed there over 30 years ago. So I think I'm going to have to give this one to Noah, because he did say something was found behind a bookshelf in a library.
I got closer.
Which is basically what happened, but it wasn't a fox.
It was a fox that had been living there for 30 years off beer and, what was it? Gum. Just beer and gum.
Godzilla Heads gum. Because apparently, like in the 80s, there was a gum called Godzilla Heads gum.
And why did that not stick around?
If you chewed it too much, it would disintegrate.
I don't get it. That was a reference to something.
It really wasn't.
For sure. Okay.
So point goes to Noah for being the closest that time, because something was found behind a bookshelf in a library. You did not say, however, it was found in Walla Walla, Washington, which is important because Walla Walla, Washington.
Walla Walla.
All right, so for round number 5, we're going to go back to Michael to start it off. I will use the new rules where I can't say if they got it right or wrong. But what is the deal with Dennis Quaid?
No, Adam McQuaid. Okay. I don't know who this is. I don't know what they do. I don't know who they are.
Dennis Quaid is an actor. However, that does not necessarily pertain to the story. Well, maybe it does.
He broke his back in a freak jet ski accident.
You're going with Dennis Quaid broke his back in a freak jet ski accident.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Noah, what's the deal with Dennis Quaid?
Well, Michael, you're really close, actually. I can't believe you don't know who Dennis Quaid is, but it was actually his leg in a motorcycle accident when he was filming for the latest Mad Max movie.
Well, Noah tried going for the whole confidently lying thing.
I don't know who Dennis Quaid is either.
It's definitely not in Mad Max. Y'all don't know who Dennis Quaid is?
I don't know actors or celebrities at all.
He's Dennis Quaid, man.
Okay, that doesn't help anyone.
It's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, yeah, he was in Soul Surfer.
Yeah.
And some other
I've
things.
never seen this individual in my
Dennis
life.
Quaid was in The Parent Trap, The Day After Tomorrow, A Dog's Purpose, The Rookie. He's one of those old, hunky-looking actors. Kind of like, what's-his-face, Harrison Ford, but not really.
His wife is 27 and he's 66. So
Whoa.
That's terrifying.
that's also a thing. Yep, a little bit weird.
We'll not talk about that. So you are both unfortunately incorrect. I regret to inform you. The deal with Dennis Quaid is that Dennis Quaid recently adopted a cat named Dennis Quaid.
What?
I don't have much more information than that, other than there was a news report about the news report was for the purpose of getting animals adopted from a local animal shelter. One of the cats was named Dennis Quaid, so Dennis Quaid decided to adopt Dennis Quaid, the cat.
Okay, so the cat was already named Dennis Quaid. It wasn't he named a cat
Dennis,
after
Dennis
himself.
Quaid did not name the cat Dennis Quaid.
That would have been a better story.
Dennis Quaid adopts a cat named Ruffles and renames it Dennis Quaid.
You are no longer Ruffles. From now you shall be known as Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, Jr.
You will carry my legacy.
See, this is the difficult part with me not telling you if the first person was right or wrong, is you both basically said the same thing. So I don't know who to give points to.
Oh, you see, someone started the idea of injuries. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like I gotta give Noah points for making an attempt at the, going for the confident lying. Because that's why we gave you the second point with the other thing, the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Okay.
And giving Michael a hard time for not knowing who Dennis Quaid is, when in reality
Yeah.
I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, so it's going to Michael.
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm sorry,
Wow.
Noah. I'm sorry. I can't read.
Plot
I
twist.
totally did give Noah the point. So after the end of our first game, the score is, drumroll please.
It's a draw.
No, there were 5 rounds, so it can't possibly be a draw. The score is Michael 2 and Noah 3.
Ooh.
Bum-ba-da-da. We'll edit in, fanfare music and stuff. That'll make it good.
Royalty free, of course.
Royalty free. Yeah, I'll make it myself. So the second game, I'll get my trumpet.
Just a recording of you in the other room.
Yeah.
We should get a live band just to hang out and do our little segment music.
If we start doing this in person, we should do that. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So the second game that we're going to do is called This Week in Florida Man. So what's going to happen is I will give the contestants, Noah and Michael, a Florida Man headline from each day of the past week from years past. But I'll remove key words from that headline. Both players will fill in the blank or blanks and give their reasoning for it, basically the story that happened for their headline. I will then reveal the headline and give points accordingly to how I feel. Does that make sense to everybody?
Makes
It
sense.
does indeed.
Makes sense. All right. So, from August 10th. Oh, this is incorrect because I changed the story. I said August 10th, 2020. August 10th, some year. I'll let you know. So, on August 10th, the headline for that day is Florida Man's Robbery Foiled by blank. Florida Man's Robbery Foiled by blank. Let's go, Michael. What foiled this Florida Man's robbery?
Brick wielding Karen.
Florida Man's Robbery foiled by brick-wielding Karen. What happened so that this brick-wielding Karen foiled this Florida Man's robbery?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Chuck a brick.
Chuck a brick. Karen, chuck a brick.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that seems logical. Noah, Florida Man's Robbery foiled by blank.
I'm going to go with Mickey Mouse costume. What do you call somebody that's in a Mickey Mouse? Man in a Mickey Mouse costume. Because I'm picturing this guy. He just got off his Disney World job. I guess they probably don't get to take the costumes home, but we'll say he does. Maybe he wears one in his free time. Maybe he's not even a Disney World employee. He really likes wearing the Mickey Mouse costume. It's like his dream to get to wear the Mickey Mouse costume in Disney World. But in the meantime,
He works on the Las Vegas Strip.
but he
one of the
lives in Florida.
cosplayers there.
Every time he's tried to go
He
in
commutes.
Disney World, he's just been kicked out
yeah,
immediately.
it's like, oh, John's here again. Got to kick him out.
He's bought the tickets and everything.
We
He's
can't.
like, no, I'm allowed to be here, I promise.
Sir, you have to take the Mickey Mouse costume off. So that's
All
what
right,
I'm going with.
So, yeah, that's what you're going with. Michael says brick-wielding Karen. Noah says guy in a Mickey Mouse costume. The correct headline is Florida Man's Robbery Foiled by Angry Birds Backpack.
What?
That is the correct headline. A suspect who robbed a store, was seen on security camera wearing an Angry Birds backpack. That man was later seen wearing the backpack, and the police pulled him over, decided it was the same backpack, and he also had a handgun, and I'm not exactly sure which one really gave away the fact that he was the armed robber, the handgun or the backpack, but the story online really made it seem it was very Angry Birds-centric. Yeah.
I just finished playing Angry Birds Star Wars the other day.
Those games end?
Yeah.
I just thought they went on forever.
It's Candy Crush that's infinite.
Did you 3-star every level?
No, some of them are really frustrating to try to do that.
So, no.
I remember when I was like when I first got my iPod Touch, and it was like my first foray into having a phone, but not really. And I would stay up until like 2 a.m. sometimes just playing Angry Birds Star Wars and Angry Birds Space. And I can never get that sleep back now.
You rascally homeschooler, you.
That's what I did for fun as a homeschooler. And I do have to say, Ben, when you read that the first time, I thought it was Angry Bird *S backpack. So I was picturing like a bird that was angry
bird
with
wearing
a
an angry
little tiny backpack.
Fell off the bird's back and knocked the guy unconscious.
I was really confused.
All right. Well, for the assigning of points, I'm going to have to give it to Noah because, like, the cartoon sort of aspect of it, like Angry Birds are like cartoon characters, Mickey Mouse, cartoon character, kind of foiled by that whole, like, cartoony sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense to me. I completely agree.
Yeah, and there was nobody named Karen in the entire story, so sorry, Michael.
What's the robber's name?
Not Karen.
Are you sure?
100%, actually.
Okay.
So, point Noah. All right. August 11th, 2016. August 11th, 2016. Judge says Florida man can no longer blank. What did this judge say a Florida man can no longer do, Noah?
Oh, man, what I was going to say is actually real, so I'm not going to say that.
Well, this is actually real.
Oh, that's also true.
This did actually happen.
I'm going to say Florida man can no longer leave his Christmas lights up year-round. It makes his neighbors very upset, and I've heard about this thing called a war on Christmas. I think that's what it's about. I think it's about leaving your Christmas lights up too long. So that's got to be my answer.
So, judge says Florida man can no longer leave up Christmas lights because of the war on Christmas, says Noah. Michael, what does this judge say a Florida man can no longer do?
Florida man can no longer ride his bicycle in just his undies during the day.
He can do it at night.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
It's Florida.
The kids go to bed. It's fine, man. You can do whatever.
You know what they say? The freaks come out at night. I think there's a song written about that.
Is there? Is there a song written about Florida?
No, but freaks.
All right. So the correct headline from August 11th, 2016, judge says Florida man can no longer order pizza. After using 5 different phone numbers, Randy Riddle of Sebastian, Florida, made prank phone calls and didn't pay for orders. He posted a $5,500 bail and was banned from ordering pizza.
Well, that's just a basic human right.
I did see like this story, and like it was on a news website where people could comment, and one of the comments did say, "Does that not constitute cruel and unusual punishment?" Just not being able to buy any more pizza ever.
Does DiGiorno count?
Well, I guess it was order pizza, and you don't really order. I mean, that's
right.
That's not delivery. It's DiGiorno. Not sponsored yet. Yeah. I'm going to give the point to Michael just because he can no longer ride his bike in his undies during the day, alluding to the fact that he can do it at night. I just find that really funny. Well,
thanks.
Cleverness semantics points go to Michael. All right. August 12th of 2017, drunk Florida man sets scooter on fire because he, quote, blank. Michael, why did this drunk Florida man set his scooter on fire? Why did this drunk Florida man set a scooter on fire.
Oh.
It's not necessarily his scooter. It's just a scooter.
Are we talking Vespa? Or are we
I was
talking
hoping you would ask. From what I can
Razor?
tell, yes, it is like a Vespa scooter, not
Like a Razor scooter.
not like a Razor scooter.
Okay. Because we're off to
Because
see
of the wonderful
wizard,
things he
the wonderful
does.
wizard. Yes. Because it was not doing wonderful things.
Drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, quote, wasn't doing wonderful things.
Yes, that's correct, Bob.
that's not actually a terrible answer. All right, Noah, a drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, quote, blank.
Well, I'm imagining it's his son's scooter. He has like a 30-year-old son, still won't leave the house, and this was like his way of teaching his son a lesson. So can you read the headline again?
Drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, quote, blank.
Needed to punish his son.
Drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, quote, needed to punish his son. That is also incorrect, Michael. I'm sorry, yours is incorrect. The correct headline reads, Drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, quote, was mad at it.
We overthought
His name-
that.
One of these answers is very close.
Yeah, actually, Michael's kind of right.
So basically, the story was a guy named Chance Ricky was his name. He got mad at his scooter. It was his scooter while he was drunk and decided to set it on fire. That is the entire story. There is no other like background given to that story in the news article other than the fact that he was arrested on charges of arson.
So was the story, was
That's
this
it.
just like a tweet from the local police department? You know when you see those kind of random short, like, police took man into custody for setting his scooter on fire for being mad at it. And that's like the whole
No,
tweet.
it was an actual like news article. I pulled up all the news articles for these things. If we post this on social media, I'll make sure to have links to all of the news articles.
Cite your
So
sources.
you can look at them for yourself. Yep, so I can cite my sources. But he was mad at it. Michael, you said one of these answers was really close. I want to hear your reasoning for which answer you think is really close.
Absolutely mine. Because if you're not doing wonderful things, maybe he's mad that it's not doing wonderful things.
Well, the
And he
reason
was mad at it.
the reason I'm not leaning towards yours is because drunk Florida man set scooter on fire because he, and then you said, wasn't doing wonderful things. Not that the scooter wasn't doing wonderful things.
Well, that's what I intended, but semantics, as you said earlier.
Okay, fine. Noah, do you have an
Well,
argument
it
for
doesn't
why
count.
yours?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I think,
No, I want to.
yeah, I agree that Michael's intent was closer than mine, so I have a hard time arguing. But I would say I was trying to keep to the constraints of that because he. So if Michael can rephrase it to fit the headline, then I'll defer the point to him.
Michael, you have 5 seconds to rephrase, starting now.
Because he thought the scooter was not doing wonderful things.
That's good.
I'll accept that.
He, quote, thought the scooter was not doing wonderful things.
Okay, there we go. Point to Michael, and I should recommend, or not recommend, I should point out that there are now 2 rounds left, and you both are tied at 4. 4 apiece. So it is possible to end in a draw. If it does end in a draw, I decide I win.
Great, because
Okay.
that's the only way you can win.
Yeah, that's the only way I can win. I designed this game in a way that I cannot possibly win. All right. August 13th, 2014. Florida man accused of killing roommate asked blank where to hide the body. Noah. Who did this Florida man accused of killing his roommate ask where to hide the body?
I feel like it has to be Siri, because that's such a thing. Remember when Siri came out and it's like, oh, ask it if you can hide a body, and everybody would laugh, and then never used Siri on their phone ever again, if you're me, because what are you supposed to do with Siri? So I'm going to go with Siri.
Noah says Siri. Michael.
He asked the roommate's girlfriend. Significant other. Let's say that. Significant
Okay.
other. So we're not, pushing any agenda or anything.
Okay. I'm
Cover my
so
bases.
totally torn on this. Because
It's his girlfriend Siri.
Florida man accused of killing roommate asked Siri where to hide the body is the headline. However, I'm not making this up. I wrote this down. The argument started after the killer brought up the idea of dating his roommate's ex. So I don't know what to do.
I'm
Siri is correct, by the way. So
Siri is the correct answer. Oh, but the fact that you said the girlfriend part. I got to give it to Noah, though.
yeah, it's by the rules.
By the rule, Noah did get that point, but Michael, good job nailing the significant
Half a point, half
other
a point,
part.
half a point, half a point. No whammies.
Okay, fine, half a point.
Thanks.
You get half a point. The argument started after the killer brought up the idea of dating his roommate's ex, so he decided to get help from the only other female in his life, which is Siri.
That is sad.
I don't know why I felt the need to roast that guy.
I remember.
All right.
I remember my 2 a.m. Angry Birds space sessions were also littered with lots of like, Siri, you're my only friend. To which she'd just say,
gosh.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. And then I just played more
I feel
Angry
like
Birds.
I was your friend at this time. Were we not friends when this was going on?
Not at 2 a.m.
Oh, there's a statute of limitations on our friendship.
Yes. Only during the day. I'd text you at 1:30, and by 2, I'd just give up and have to start talking to Siri.
I was asleep. I wasn't playing Angry Birds in my bed.
You were
All right.
sleeping and excelling at school.
Well, I don't know if I'd say excelling. August 14th, 2017. Florida man blank blames it on a caterpillar. What did this Florida man do, Michael? I'm sorry. We do start with Michael. What did this Florida man do and then blame it on a caterpillar?
I'm gonna go with falls out of a tree.
Florida man falls out of a tree and blames it on a caterpillar. Why would that be blamed on a caterpillar?
So there's two logical reasons. Of course. First, he falls out of the tree because he saw a caterpillar, like the spiky ones that could potentially be dangerous to you. Falls out of the tree because it scared him. Lands on his back. Someone rushes over. Why'd you fall out of a tree? It was that darn spiky caterpillar right there. So that's option one. Number two, the caterpillar, he will claim it through the branch that snapped that he was on just because he shouldn't have been in the tree. Branch breaks. Dude falls. Someone comes over. Hey, why'd you fall out of the tree? Well, you see that spiky caterpillar up there. End of story.
Was Mater from Cars here? Did you guys hear that? I think Larry the
yeah.
Cable Guy was here.
Where was you see that spiky caterpillar up there? Wow. All right, Noah. What did this Florida man do and then blame on a caterpillar?
I'm really torn between two answers. The
You
first
can give
one
one of them.
Okay. The first one I thought of that I'm not going with was breaks wind, because that is a tendency to blame it on the things around you. But the one I'm going to go with is wrecks his car. I think he got in a car wreck because he saw a caterpillar on his windshield and it freaked him out, and so he drove into oncoming traffic and then tried to blame the caterpillar to get insurance money.
Specifically into oncoming traffic?
Because
Hey,
you
leading
said
the
it that
witness.
way, yes.
Incorrect. Michael, however, is also incorrect.
Oh.
The correct headline reads, Florida man wrecks liquor store, blames it on a caterpillar. Which...
Wait, wrecks it with his car or just goes ham on a
No,
liquor
he just went in
store?
and went ham on a liquor store. Florida man wrecks a liquor store, blames it on caterpillar. He told the police that the hookah-smoking caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland had told him to do it.
You what?
What?
Have you not seen Alice in Wonderland?
I have, but I don't remember that.
I don't think we watched the same Alice in Wonderland.
I do remember that, but I did not go wreck my local liquor store, so...
Well, I also don't think anywhere in Alice in Wonderland does the hookah-smoking caterpillar say to wreck a liquor store.
Maybe the Tim Burton version. I could see that.
You know what? I think you're right. It was the Tim Burton version that he watched. Well, solely on the fact that it had the word wreck in it, I got to give the point to Noah. Because at least something was destroyed in his story.
Thank you.
If you know if that makes sense.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, at the end of our two games, Michael, you have 4.5 points because I gave you a half point for bringing up a girlfriend or a significant other or something. And Noah, at the end of our 10 rounds, you have 6 points. So, everyone, please greet and applaud.
GG.
And GG. And put GG in the chat for our first victor, Noah.
Hey, thank you.
Hey!
Michael, you're a great warm-up for Hulk Hogan next week. I'm really looking forward to that.
It's the first time anyone's ever said that sentence to Michael. After this week, I'm totally prepared for Hulk Hogan next week.
Basically the same person.
Basically the same thing going on there. Congratulations, Noah. You win a bag of Skittles the next time I see you. You have to redeem that within 24 hours or I will eat it.
What? Okay, I'm not going to reveal my location, so I'm driving to your house tomorrow, and that could be 20 minutes. It could be 20 hours, but I'm getting those Skittles.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the store and buy Skittles then.
Wait, yeah, I should clarify. Is this like a fun size? Because I have to factor in gas money, too.
I don't think you can buy fun size.
If we get like a
I
Patreon,
think you have to get it in like a pack.
If we get a business account, are like my miles to come collect this deductible?
Sure.
Great. We'll figure this out.
You just got to keep that receipt.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you to our Victor Noah for being on the show. Thank you to our special guest Michael for being on the show. Everyone give an applause to Michael. Yay, Michael. Thank you for listening to you guys. You are the true winners because, well, you're just a winner. Thank you for listening. But yeah, thank you for listening. Hopefully you will hear from us next week. Have a wonderful week.
Bye, guys.